Welcome to soulspaceradio. All rights reserved. No part of this broadcast may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any electronic or mechanical means without the presenter's written permission. The presenters do not dispense medical advice or prescribe the use of any technique as a form of treatment for physical, emotional, or medical problems. The intent of the presenters is to only offer information of a general nature to help you in your quest for emotional and spiritual well-being.
Hi guys, welcome to Soul Space Radio. Okay, this week we're going to do some fun stuff. Sorry, I just need to get into my chilled zone. We're going to look at gods and goddesses from ancient times. And what I mean by look is that we're just going to go into a free flow form of guided meditation. In which case we just, using imagination-based play with source, so this is basically about facilitating your relationship with your connection, your relationship with source, and going into an imagination-based play and connecting with other realms, other beings, those sorts of things. And in doing so, we are actually expanding our consciousness because we're putting ourselves into situations that we wouldn't normally be in, and we expand our consciousness. We're completely aligned with the universe, which is expanding. And we're doing this in conjunction with source. We're not doing this by ourselves, so it's completely high vibrational energy that we're utilizing. Okay, cool. So this week we're going to look at gods, ancient gods and goddesses. Now, I just got to clarify a few things here because there's a bit of confusion, I think, over why were there multiple gods in the past. And obviously we have a very monoculture in this day and age. In other words, there is one God, which is completely true. And, I'm a big believer in that. There is one God. That God is being divine love. And that God is in everything and everywhere, an intelligent consciousness, if you will. I think my theory, if I can just explain why in the ancient times we had multiple gods, my theory is that God is in everything. There is one God. All that is encompasses everything. And so there's no real deviation from that concept in terms of adopting paganism in where you have different gods and goddesses, because what you're really doing is just focusing on a capability of all that is. So all that is expresses in everything, including the multiple gods. So I think it's really important to not forget that there is just one God, and that's one love and all the rest of it, but can be expressed in a multitude of ways. And there should be no judgment or criticism on anybody who believes that in a pagan religion or pagan gods, because it's really just a reflection of all that is anyway. So what I'm trying to say, as long as you're embracing a concept of love, or believe and worship and prayer to a being of love, then that's fine. And this is all just imagination-based play. But whenever we're in this space, we just completely ingratiate ourselves into all that is, into the one. And that can be reflected in a multitude of ways, which is why if you're Christian, you may see Jesus, and if you're Muslim, you may see Muhammad. So the reason for that being is that Source will interact with you at your best in a form that you're most familiar with. Okay, so it makes sense. So please, I just wanted to make it really clear that I'm not an active paganist religious practitioner, but I certainly do believe that everybody's entitled to their own religious and beliefs, and my belief is that every religion that is focused on love is a good thing, and that this is all just reflections of all that is anyway. Okay, so I think you've got that. I think I've made that pretty clear. Cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play today. The first god, we're going to have a look at ancient gods. So we're talking about Egyptian, Greek, and Roman and Viking and Celtic gods and goddesses here. And I've just picked a couple. So this is free flow. So in other words, you can know that if you've got some other god or goddess in mind that you'd like to interact with, then you can use this meditation process. It's the same. There's a consistency to this. And you can interact with that god or goddesses in your own space, okay? So cool. So today we're going to go back into Egypt. Not back into Egypt, back into ancient Egypt times. And we're going to interact with a god called Ra. Now, Ra was the god of sun and radiance. And so let me just read a few things. This is kind of quasi-educational as well. Well, not quasi, but educational too. So the midday sun, which is Ra or Re, is of great importance in Egyptian history. The god of the sun, Ra, has a sun disk around his head and is believed to have created this world. Every sunrise and sunset was seen as a process of renewal. Portrayed as a falcon-headed god, he and Horus shared an association which led him to be known as the Horus of the horizon. Many ancient Egyptian gods were merged with Ra, and many were created by him. Okay, and so later on, Ra was joined to other deities, and they became Amun-Ra, or all-encompassing, basically a god of creation and renewal, sunset, sunrise. Okay, cool. So let's go that now. So what I might do is just... Sorry, I'm super thirsty this morning. Okay, so get yourself nice and comfortable and just see yourself surrounded in divine love light. Just let everything else fall away. Just see yourself surrounded in pure, divine, brilliant white love light. Breathing in. See it merging through every single cell in your body, just radiating throughout your body and out through your heart. And in. Radiating every cell out through your heart. And in. Radiating through every cell in your being, and just let it dissipate out through your cells. And now, just see a pole of brilliant bright white light from your base chakra up your spine, out through your crown, and into the middle of the cosmos. And follow this with your consciousness, which is mind, body, and soul. And when you're in mid-space, in the middle of cosmos, just change the picture and see yourself surrounded by brilliant divine love light. Feel this light radiating through every cell in your being, and just look down and notice how your body is dissipating into the light. You are becoming one with all that is. In, light, end. You might be feeling lighter, joyous, blissful. And turn this light up. Just imagine a dimmer light switch in front of you, and just turn it round so that you're shining brighter, 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 brighter. And when you're ready, follow this light down into ancient Egypt. And imagine yourself as one of the crowd, waiting for entrance to the temple of Ra. You might have some fruits and flowers that you'd like to place in prayer to Ra, as a gesture of goodwill, as a gift to the gods. hear the trumpets blasting as the temple doors open to let the parishioners in. And imagine yourself like a church walking down past all the pews to the altar of Ra. And see everyone kneeling and praying and offering up their gifts to the god. And see a statue in front of you of a human-sized, of a man with a falcon's head and a sun halo around his head. And he's holding staffs, a couple of staff, including the key of life. So kneel down on the stone floor and ask a prayer of Ra. Whatever you want, desire, needs, just anything. Question? Just ask a quick question. What's your most, what is the thing that you want to ask today? There'll be something, that's why you're here. Just ask Ra. And just let it go. Just this thought, this wish, this prayer, just see this prayer float away up into Ra's arms and then let it go. Just knowing that it'll be answered. And then take a seat, maybe fall back from the front, watch the other parishioners, and just sit there and soak in the scene of spiritual bliss, in gratitude, and an openness, a connection. Allow your brain to open and connect with Source. And just sit in this bliss for a couple of minutes. See the light all around you. See the round circular hole in the wall behind Ra's statue, allowing light and the sun's warmth to filter through the stone building, the temple. And see this light radiating onto you, and just sit there in spiritual bliss, knowing that your prayers have been answered and all is well. And just allow the last of the people to pay their homage to Ra. And then hear the temple doors close, and know that you are entitled to a private session with Ra. So the head priest comes for you now. And you sit in the middle of the altar. In front of the altar, down on the ground in the middle of the raised dais. And the head priest sits down too in a kneeling position, legs crossed and facing you with the back to the statue of Ra. And you're facing the head priest with the front of your face facing the statue of Ra. And he anoints your head with a cream in the shape of a cross. It's like a black ochre. And then the head priest chants and just starts lightly chanting, more of a and you feel a vibration all over your being. And the head priest asks you to close your eyes. And imagine Ra, the sun god, moving towards you with hands outstretched in open love. And see Ra now merge with the physical being of the head priest and sit down in front of you. And now ask Ra for the answer to your question. Repeat the question again if you wish to. And if you need more clarity, continue to ask questions of Ra until you get pure clarity on the question that you asked. This is a complete loving space. No silly questions. There's no frustrations in this conversation. Just purely a devotion to you and a willingness to assist. So listen closely and seek the clarity that you need. And when you've sought the clarity that you need, know that you can call on Ra whenever you need any further questions answered. And know that the answers that you've been given today are enough of a starting point. And know that you don't necessarily need to know every step on the way. That is your journey, your joy. And nothing will ever take that away from you. So give thanks to Ra in prayer and appreciation. And see Ra taking his farewells and disappearing into the mist. And stand up and move out of the temple. And once you hear the doors close behind you, you may travel down the pole of brilliant white light back into this dimension, hearing the clock ticking, the traffic moving outside, and feeling where you're seated. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Okay, well, gee, that was awesome. Okay, so I hope you guys determined the answers to your questions from that particular session and got some clarity. If not, go back again, visit. You won't get specific details. I don't think you're going to get that ever from Source, because the journey is part of your personal joy and expression, and you wouldn't want to know all the parts, but to actually have some sort of guidance in terms of where you can focus your energy, that's always a really good thing. So that will be provided. Okay, cool. So remember, you can come back to the space anytime you like. You can communicate with Source anytime you like, and if you want that to be in the form of Ra, then just ask a question out into this dimensional space, and you're automatically connected. Okay, so love you guys. Feedback to soulspaceradio@bigpond.com, and see you tomorrow when we'll be looking at doing Athena, who was the Greek goddess of wisdom, intelligence, and justice. Cool. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.